In recent years, our planet has been battered by a series of unprecedented and bizarre weather events. From the most remote corners of the globe to the heart of bustling cities, the climate seems to be rewriting its own rules. Weather patterns that once followed predictable cycles now appear to be in chaos, leaving scientists and citizens alike both awestruck and alarmed. Snow has blanketed the Sahara, a place where sand and sun have ruled for centuries. Floods have submerged cities that were once plagued by relentless drought, turning familiar streets into rivers overnight. Fertile lands, once the backbone of local economies, have turned to dust under the relentless grip of heat domes, threatening food security and livelihoods. These are not isolated incidents but part of a growing pattern of extremes that defy expectations. These events stretch the boundaries of what we consider normal, leaving many searching for answers. People everywhere are glued to their screens, watching as news anchors struggle to explain the latest anomaly. Streets that should be bustling with life are eerily empty, as storms and disasters force communities indoors. The sense of uncertainty is palpable, and questions linger in the air. While climate change is the leading explanation, with scientists pointing to rising greenhouse gases and shifting atmospheric patterns, some wonder if there's more to the story. The scale and frequency of these events have led to heated debates, protests, and urgent calls for action. Yet for every answer science provides, new questions seem to emerge, fueling a sense of mystery and unease. Is it possible these aren't just random acts of nature, but the result of something or someone intervening? Could there be forces at work behind the scenes manipulating the very weather we depend on? The idea may sound far-fetched, but for some, it's a question worth asking. Theories of weather manipulation have gained traction, especially online, with each new disaster fueling speculation. Social media platforms and internet forums buzz with rumors and alleged evidence, as amateur sleuths and conspiracy theorists connect the dots between disasters and shadowy organizations. The aftermath of every storm brings a fresh wave of questions, and the line between fact and fiction grows ever more blurred. At the center of these theories is a single mysterious name: HAARP. For some, it's the ultimate symbol of government secrecy and technological power, a facility shrouded in myth and suspicion. For decades, this Alaskan research facility has been accused of everything from engineering hurricanes to triggering earthquakes. News headlines and documentaries have only added to the intrigue, painting HAARP as a potential puppet master behind some of the world's most devastating natural disasters. To understand why, we need to pull back the curtain on HAARP. What it is, who built it, and what it was really designed to do. Only by exploring its origins and purpose can we separate fact from fiction and begin to unravel the truth behind the world's strangest weather. Deep in Alaska's vast frozen wilderness, far from the nearest city, stands a mysterious and sprawling complex known as HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Here, hundreds of metallic antennas stretch across the tundra, forming a geometric grid that looks almost alien against the stark, snow-dusted landscape. This remote site has captured the imagination of scientists, conspiracy theorists, and curious minds alike. Built in the early 1990s as a joint project between the U.S. military, the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and DARPA, HAARP's stated purpose was scientific, studying the ionosphere, a charged layer high above Earth. The facility was designed to be at the cutting edge of atmospheric research, with the hope of unlocking secrets about how energy from the sun interacts with our planet's upper atmosphere. The ionosphere is crucial for radio communications, satellites, and GPS. It acts as a shield, protecting us from solar radiation, and as a mirror, bouncing radio signals across the globe. Without it, modern communication as we know it would be impossible. By probing the ionosphere with powerful radio waves, scientists hope to improve these technologies, making communication more reliable and resilient. For the military, the stakes were even higher. Better understanding of the ionosphere could mean more secure communications, advanced radar systems, and even new ways to detect hidden objects or track missiles. But the facility's remote location, high security, and deep military ties quickly fueled suspicion. Why build such a powerful installation so far from civilization? What exactly was being tested here, and who truly controlled the data? HAARP's 180 antennas can beam intense, focused radio signals into the sky, heating small patches of the ionosphere. This capability led critics and conspiracy theorists to see it as more than just a research tool. Some speculated about weather control, mind manipulation, or even secret weapons. In 2015, control of HAARP officially shifted from the U.S. Air Force to the University of Alaska Fairbanks, supposedly ending its military role and opening the doors to civilian research. The university promised transparency and public tours, hoping to dispel rumors and restore trust. Yet for many, this only deepened the mystery. Was this a genuine handover, or just a new cover story? The secrecy surrounding HAARP's early years, combined with its powerful technology, left plenty of room for doubt and speculation. Today, the facility's true purpose remains hotly debated. Scientists insist it's a unique laboratory for studying the upper atmosphere, while skeptics continue to question what really happens behind the locked gates and barbed wire. Is HAARP simply a scientific outpost pushing the boundaries of our knowledge, or is it something far more secretive, an enigma hidden in the Alaskan wilds, with a purpose we may never fully understand? So what does HAARP actually do? The High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP, is one of the most powerful and misunderstood scientific installations on the planet. Nestled in the remote wilderness of Alaska, this facility is the subject of fascination, speculation, and controversy. But at its heart, HAARP is a tool for exploring the upper reaches of our atmosphere. At its core, it's a powerful radio transmitter, focusing energy on a small patch of the ionosphere, like a magnifying glass on a leaf, but with radio waves. The facility beams high-frequency radio waves upward, energizing a tiny region of the ionosphere, which is a layer of charged particles far above the Earth's surface. This process allows scientists to observe how this region responds to artificial stimulation, and to better understand the natural processes that occur there. This creates a temporary disturbance, allowing scientists to study how the ionosphere reacts and how it affects radio signals. By monitoring these changes, researchers can learn how solar storms and other cosmic events disrupt communications and navigation systems on Earth. The data collected helps improve everything from GPS accuracy to predicting space weather that can impact satellites and power grids. Of special interest are extremely low-frequency ELF waves, which can penetrate deep into the ground and ocean, useful for submarine communication and geological mapping. These ELF waves are difficult to generate, but HAARP's unique capabilities make it possible to study how they travel through the planet, opening up new possibilities for both scientific research and practical applications in communication. Officially, HAARP's effects are limited to the ionosphere, over 60 miles above us. The energy it transmits is carefully controlled and monitored, and the disturbances it creates are fleeting, lasting only as long as the experiment runs. Weather, however, forms in the much lower troposphere and stratosphere. These layers are where clouds gather, storms brew, and the climate we experience every day is shaped. The ionosphere, by contrast, is far above these weather-making regions. Scientists argue HAARP's energy is minuscule compared to the sun's, and there's no known way it could influence weather systems below. The sun bombards the Earth with an unimaginable amount of energy every second, dwarfing anything HAARP could ever produce. In fact, the energy HAARP uses is less than what a small town consumes. The consensus, HAARP can't control the weather, it's like trying to boil the ocean with a single kettle. The scale is simply too vast, and the science doesn't support the idea that HAARP could have any meaningful impact on our climate or weather patterns. But not everyone is convinced. Despite the scientific explanations, HAARP remains a lightning rod for conspiracy theories and public suspicion. Some believe its true purpose is hidden, fueling debates and protests that continue to this day. The gap between scientific claims and conspiracy theories about HAARP is vast. Some believe HAARP can control the weather by manipulating the jet stream, steering storms, or causing droughts and floods. Others claim it can trigger earthquakes by sending ELF waves into the Earth's crust, or even influence human minds by broadcasting specific frequencies. There are also theories that HAARP could disable satellites or create electromagnetic shields against missiles. To believers, HAARP is a superweapon, capable of godlike feats. Officially, it's just a research facility, but the rumors persist, fueled by secrecy and fear. Whenever disaster strikes, HAARP is never far from the conversation. The 2010 Haiti earthquake, Hurricane Katrina, and the 2011 Japan tsunami have all been linked to HAARP by conspiracy theorists. Unusual cloud formations, rapid storm intensification, and coincidental experiment timings are cited as evidence. For some, these disasters are not acts of nature, but demonstrations of a hidden weapon. Theories persist because they offer a villain and a sense of control in a chaotic world. Each new disaster adds fuel to the fire, reinforcing the belief in a secret war waged from the skies. The truth, however, remains elusive. Are these coincidences or something more? Governments and scientists have repeatedly denied that HAARP can control the weather. Open houses at the facility aim to dispel rumors, showing the public there's nothing to hide. Yet, skepticism remains, rooted in a history of secret weather modification programs like Operation Popeye during the Vietnam War. Declassified documents prove the military has experimented with weather control before, making denials less convincing. This legacy of secrecy creates a credibility gap. Official statements are weighed against past actions and, for many, the doubts linger. Even the most transparent efforts struggle to overcome decades of mistrust. The question remains, if they tried it before, why not now? The US isn't alone in ionospheric research. Russia's Sura facility, Europe's ISCAT in Norway, and new Chinese projects all pursue similar studies. Officially, these are scientific endeavors, but each is swept up in global weather control theories. The idea of a secret atmospheric arms race, US versus Russia versus China, adds a new layer to the conspiracy. Now, strange weather is seen as the result of invisible battles between superpowers. Droughts, floods, and storms become weapons in a hidden global conflict. The narrative grows ever more complex. Why would anyone want to control the weather? The strategic advantages are enormous. Cripple an enemy's crops, flood their cities, or unleash drought, all without firing a shot. Weather control would be the ultimate covert weapon, with disasters easily blamed on nature or climate change. Economically, it could guarantee prosperity for one nation while devastating rivals. The power to manipulate weather could be used for blackmail, resource control, or even to reshape the global order. It's a terrifying prospect, one that taps into deep fears about power, secrecy, and the limits of human control. The idea is both compelling and frightening, blurring the line between science fiction and reality. If such power exists, it would change everything. As of 2025, the debate over HAARP and weather control is far from settled. Scientists insist the technology to control weather or trigger earthquakes doesn't exist. HAARP is just a research tool, limited to the ionosphere. But public suspicion endures, fueled by secrecy, past military programs, and the strangeness of modern weather. For believers, official denials are just another layer of the cover-up. We know governments have tried to modify weather before and that facilities like HAARP are real. What we don't know is the full extent of classified research or hidden capabilities. The line between fact and speculation remains blurred. Until there's true transparency, the whispers will continue. And every time a storm gathers, we'll wonder, is it nature or something more?